Hi, Darren Stehle of EatMoveBe.com, and welcome to the second pillar of wellness, healthy eating. This is the third video in the series, The Four Pillars of Wellness. Now, I highly advise reading the post that goes with this video, which is Why is Healthy Eating So Difficult? And the link is below the video. That post goes into quite a lot of detail about marketing and fast food production companies and the amount of sugar that we find in our diet if we tend to eat out a lot or eat a lot of processed foods, and how these factors of convenience make healthy eating really quite a challenge. So it helps if we educate ourselves to understand what the best choices are that we can make to be healthier, but also what to eat, how much to eat, and how to eat. And when I say how to eat, there are things to consider like eating only to 80% full. And that requires the habit also of eating slowly so that when we eat too quickly, we're not allowing the hormones in our body to catch up and signal to the brain that we're actually getting full. So there's quite a lot of things to consider. Now, I'm sitting here in my dining room because I want to show you some food. So I'm going to go to the back of the camera so I can talk about this. Here we go. What I have here is a mixture of peppers, red onions, and eggplant. And then I have some fresh broccoli and then chicken breast. Now, you can notice the size of my hand against the size of the vegetables. So this is a little bit more than a fist size of vegetables, as is this. And then I'm going to switch hands here. You can see if I cover or show you my palm, the perspective is a little bit off here. The portion of meat is about the size of my hand. The vegetables are definitely larger than 2 cupped palms or 2 fists. That is about the approximate balance that you want for a healthy plate. Now, it does vary between men and women. It does vary on your age, your level of athleticism, the amount of calories you need to consume in the day. And I do have some resources to help make that clearer in the worksheet that is also below this video. So I wanted to show you that plate because all of that food is cooked from scratch. I cook for myself once or twice a week. I cook for myself and my partner, and this does a number of things. One, it saves us a ton of money. We just went out to eat the other day, and for the two of us to eat out for one meal and to have a beer each costs almost as much as an entire week of groceries. That's kind of sick on one hand, but on the other hand, it's nice to eat out as well. So it certainly depends on the amount of money that you have, how often you can eat out versus how often you cook your own food. Most importantly, when I cook my own food, I know what's in the food because I cooked it from scratch. And I can tell you on one hand the number of ingredients that went into making my food. So that's an important aspect of cooking your own food at home. Now, if you do it all at once, it's definitely going to take a few hours, but you have to think about how much time does that save you in the course of a week? If I had to cook my dinner every single night, first of all, that wouldn't work for me because I tend to sometimes work late with clients. So when I come home, I'm either not hungry or I only want a very small snack. So if I had to cook dinner every night at home, and let's say I wanted to cook what I showed you, chicken breast and some roast vegetables and some broccoli. Well, the roast vegetables take an hour to cook in the oven. I could probably cook them on the stovetop in about 20 minutes. The chicken takes 40 to 45 minutes to cook in the oven if I'm cooking it in a sauce. Now, if I pan-fried the chicken in the sauce, that would probably take about 15 minutes. There's also the preparation time. And some things take less time when you do them in bulk. So if you were to cook 2 chicken breasts and enough vegetables for 2 people, that would take a certain amount of time to prepare before you actually either cook it on the stovetop or get it into the oven. Sorry, if you were to cook the same meals, but let's say enough chicken for 3 meals for 2 people and enough of the vegetables for 4 meals for 2 people, the amount of preparation time is only minutes. It's probably going to take 45 minutes to an hour from start to finish to cook a meal. If I do that 7 nights a week, that's 7 hours of time versus 3 hours, which also give me lunches, some snacks, and dinners. So the time savings is enormous. But if you can't commit 3 hours at once, you can break it up into 2 or 3 smaller batch cooking sessions in the week. You could do 1 or 2 slow cookers meals in the week so that you get something that gives you anywhere between 4 and 8 servings and maybe 15 to 20 minutes of preparation. Cook this overnight, package it up, put it away in containers in the morning, or prepare it the night before, put it in the slow cooker crock pot, put that in the fridge, and in the morning, if you're rushed for time, that's when you take that out of the fridge, put it in the slow cooker, turn it on, and it'll be ready when you get home. So let me take you through some parts of my kitchen. It may not be very glamorous. This is what a relatively healthy and well-stocked fridge looks like. Let's look up at the top here. Okay, there's beer in the back. Yay! I love artisan beer or small batch brewery beers and like to try different types. I've got mineral water, filtered water. Standard for us is having cottage cheese as a snack. I have some guacamole. You can see I've got some strawberries up top. Sometimes I have strawberries, stuff that's in season. Down below, in all of these Tupperware containers, are different foods I've cooked. There were pork chops and chicken that I baked in the oven. My partner went to the beach on the weekend, so picked up a roast chicken. I've got some roast potatoes, mixed vegetables, sweet potatoes, and in the back I still have some uncooked green beans and lots of fresh tomatoes because I'm going to make a tomato sauce in the oven this week. Down below, can't see it, but I've got more eggs in the back, some broccoli, some spinach that I like to use in omelets in the morning. And what have we got in here? This is where I'm going to keep kale, and then wrapped up, I've got some salad. It's wrapped up in paper towel to keep it dry so that it doesn't go all brown and bad. And then I've got carrots and some cucumbers, and down below that I've got ginger and limes and lemons. So in the door, got yogurt, salsa, peanut butter bread, jam. Down below I've got different sauces. I've got pickles, mustard, pesto. One of my guilty pleasures is Caesar salad dressing, some mayonnaise. I've got eggs, some greens plus, and some fish oil. Now, what have I got in my freezer? Very little. In these 2 containers are actually bananas that have become super ripe. So I save them and then I make banana bread. I've got some frozen mango in the back. I've got some yummy pasta. And then over here, I've got some chia seed and flax seed. Best to keep that stuff in the freezer because it can go bad pretty quickly. If I go through what I've got in some of my cupboards, back up some peanut butter. I've got some pumpkin puree, some more jams, salsa, some fun little condiments that were given to me, cans of tuna, salmon, and cans of Italian tomatoes. Next shelf up, I've got some different types of nuts, oatmeal, seeds, and up top, I've got quinoa, rice, lentils, and some pastas. Now if we come on over to one more thing to look at, I've got bananas that are really ripe. It's summer. And then up here, these are some of the Rubbermaid containers. Now, there's not many here at the moment because the rest are actually in the fridge. This is something that you really need to have if you're going to be cooking on a regular basis. Where else are you going to put your food so that you can keep it fresh, and also so that you can have some extra containers to take the food with you if you're going into the office or wherever you're taking your food with you. Let's see, maybe 1 or 2 more things to take a look at here. My salt, pepper, hot sauce, different types of vinegars and oils, coconut oil, and then up above is my spice cabinet. Kind of hard to see, but I have a ton of different spices that I go through pretty regularly, and I'm constantly freshening up, usually getting organic because I just find that they taste so much better and you can really notice the difference in your food. So that's a wrap for what I have here in my kitchen at home. So I've got lots more detail in the blog post. That is the essential reading, probably more important than the video in this particular pillar, as well as a substantial number of articles and resources for you to use, and some very excellent exercises that you can practice to improve your healthy eating. That is part of the Healthy Eating Worksheet download. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that this particular pillar probably has the most content, the most information to absorb. However, eating, even though the pillars all depend upon each other equally, healthy eating is probably the single most important factor in our modern world today. And that's because people are getting so sick, developing type 2 diabetes, eating too much sugar, are developing all kinds of other illnesses as a result to too much food, too much processing, chemicals, and so on. We've never seen these many illnesses as a result of how we are eating. So on that negative note, I advise you to go out and make a very healthy choice for your next meal, and I look forward to speaking with you in the very next pillar, which will be rest and recovery.